Kia ora, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of The Drop Clutch with me, Ricky V. In this series, I'm interviewing as many metal drummers from around New Zealand as I can get to, just to get some insight into what makes these guys and girls tick. Now, tonight's guest is Johann Van Niekerk, who is the drummer for Unwanted Subject, who's a fucking killer band, who's definitely going to be more widely known in the very near future. So, Johann, how we doing?
Hey, all good, all good.
All good, fantastic. Well, first things first, thank you so much for being on my show, bro. So, why don't you get us started and tell us about yourself, tell us about your bands, give us a bit of a rundown of that, please.
Cool. Well, thank you for having me. So history of the band, Unwanted Subject. They've been around since, well, just about COVID, really. With the first EP coming out 2021, I think it was.
Nice.
And I met the guys of Unwanted Subject actually while playing for Decentra.
Okay.
We did the Ding Dong Metal Fest. What's it called? Can't remember. So I met them there and really liked what they did, and we just got sort of talking. Got on really well, and the Centra went on until August 2022, and then we disbanded. And well, actually, funny enough, Unwanted asked me to audition for them while I was playing in the Centra, and I just did not have the time to do two bands at a time.
Sure.
So I passed it up then. 4 months later, the Centra sort of disbanded, and I was kind of gutted that I didn't audition for them then. And I kind of just after the whole thing, so this was August 22. And I just flicked their vocalist, had a message saying, hey, if you guys ever need a drummer again, let me know. And I spent a bit of time just as we all do from time to time, just hone our craft a little bit, go back to basics, make sure the timing's all good again, and just a bit of self-improvement and focus again.
Sure.
And it was February. I got a Facebook message from Bran, the bassist, going, "Oh, you're looking for a metal project?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, what's this?" And he's like, "Oh, no, it's not for us. It's for another band, which was Black Rebel City, I think it was. But the requirement there was playing up to like 240 BPM, and I went like, oh, that's a bit tight. I was capping out about 200, so I was like, oh, I'm a little bit short to do that, so now I'm gonna have to pass. And it was 3 days later he came back to me. He goes, well, do you want to play for Subject?
Oh,
I
yeah.
went, hello. What happened? And yeah, I met the guys. We just got on and we got into it. And the vocalist was away, kind of like he is now, for a trip back to South Africa. And they said, "Oh no, it's all good. G's away for a couple of months. You've got time to just learn the EP, get up to speed. We're writing some new tracks. No gigs planned, nothing." And I think it was my second or third practice with them. They went, "We've got a show in 2 months." So I was like, okay. And funny enough, it was the first and the last show at Orcs at Dings, the upstairs venue.
Sure.
So we played there, and it's been a year of just playing and writing music, and it's been amazing.
Fuck yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, tell us, Johann,
Mm.
what got you started drumming? How long have you been drumming and what got you started?
my parents are both into music and they both played instruments. So I tried a couple of instruments and nothing really stuck. And I kind of left music alone, did sports and all that sort of thing for my teenage years and whatever. And then on second law, it was about when I was 16. Yeah, about 16. I had a friend that came into my high school and he was a drummer. So he played like a lot of Rammstein covers and stuff like that. And we 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 got on well, and they were putting on a show at the school the one night. And I went, okay, cool, I'll help you set up and all as you help your friends do. And we had the kit set up and everything, and he went, okay, just go sit on the kit. I just want to run up to the auditorium and move the lights and make sure it's not in my eyes. And as I went and sat down, I looked around and I was just like, I want to do this. And it was about a month later, I got my first little dinky kit, started playing, and had to stop for a little bit at the end of the year or at the end of my school terms. And on 2005, I picked up the sticks again, and other than a few injuries, I haven't stopped again.
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. Um, can you tell us who some of your favorite drummers are and whose style has influenced your playing the most?
My favorite drummer at the very moment would be Alex Bent, plays for Trivium.
Oh, yes, he does.
Phenomenal drummer, and he has very much inspired me to get more creative behind the kit, especially for what I do with Unwanted. My earlier inspirations would be people like Travis Smith, that also played for Trivium, but also Daniel Swenson, or somehow that you pronounce it, that used to play for In Flames and now for the Halo Effect.
Okay,
Also a big influence on my drumming. But then also you have to give credit to the creativity and the absolute madness that Joey Jordison was.
sure.
So yeah, so that is very much where I would say those sort of guys was a big influence into what I like doing on drums.
Sure.
Not
Excellent
that I'm as
answer.
fast as those guys, but yeah.
Sure, sure. Cool. So, have you had a chance to see any of them live, or more broadly, who is your favorite drummer that you've got to see live?
A favorite drummer that I've gotten to see live would have been Jay Weinberg on the last
Hmm.
Slipknot tour.
Yeah.
And ooh, who else?
S- Speaking of Jay, how about their
Yes,
drummer with Slipknot though, eh? Fucking those guys.
it's absolutely insane, eh?
God, the rumor mill was
Uh,
running crazy.
Dirk Dirk Verburen.
Verburen. Okay.
Yeah, he used to play for Soilwork, was it? But he's now playing for Megadeth. Soilwork,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
so he is probably the craziest drummer that I've seen live. He is amazing.
Now, this one's a little bit difficult for the drummers that I have asked to answer. And to be honest, that's kind of why I keep asking it. Um, how would you describe your style, Johan?
Style, I think it's very sort of metalcore-ish. But I do like trying to take different influences from sort of rock and a bit of tribal work and just try and be as creative as I can be. But if I have to take, because I normally play sort of melodic death as well.
Sure.
So it's sort of melodic death, metalcore, I would say probably.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Now, you have been with Unwanted Subject for a little while now, and you
Yep.
mentioned before about being in the process of writing.
Hmm.
Can you tell us what the writing process is for Unwanted Subject?
So most of our song concepts and demos gets done by Ryan, our rhythm guitarist,
Okay,
and we get on really well with the vision of a song. So he'll do the demo, he'll pass it to me, I'll do some concept drums to it. That could be anything from me sitting on the ear kit and just playing it for a couple of rounds on repeat. Or if I can't make a lot of noise for day, I'll just sit on my door and just do MIDI clicking and do sort of drum composition that way.
sure.
Um, and I've got a or I like to think I've got a good idea of what is humanly playable when you do MIDI drums like that. But yeah, so we'll throw it around until we're happy, do some structuring around it. Sorry, and then we'll socialize it with the wider group, and then they'll give us back input of yes, they like this bit, or they don't like that bit, or they want to expand on this or that. And then when we've got a solid demo idea, we'll take it to the practice room and then let it just sort of grow organically. Um, and we'll, hey, that was kind of cool what you did there. Let's bring that into the song. And once we've got the song set in the practice room, we'll go back and do a recording of another demo in the final structure and then just put it in the vault for playing live and getting it ready for the EP or whatever.
Sure. Fantastic. Now you've mentioned getting it ready for the EP a couple of times. Is there a date or is there a goal in mind for that coming out, or is it just a constant process?
So we've been writing some new stuff. We're gonna do it a little bit differently. There's not gonna be a big EP release, like most bands do. Our idea is more to build the EP, or it could turn out to be maybe like a mini album, and build that into Spotify. So
Oh,
the tracks will come out as single releases, but form part of an album.
sure. That's
So
fucking, that's a cool
so
idea,
it's,
man.
yeah, so it allows us to push out music more regularly.
Sure.
Mm.
Absolutely. Cool. Now, tightening in a little bit on your drumming specifically, is there a specific technique that you are practicing or working on improving at the moment?
Double kicks, ankle technique.
Sure, yeah.
Um, I that is a constant process for I think most drummers is double kicks.
Mm,
And then I'm trying to learn the push pull on my hand, the push pull technique on my hands, getting that up to a bit of a higher speed. I'm playing around with swivel as well, but I'm only getting that to about 120 at the moment. But it's
mm,
pretty comfortable at 120. So the ankle technique sort of kicks off at 130, 140, 150. So I've been finding that very slow parts, which is under sort of 100 BPM, I just do full leg motion. Then 100 to 120, 130, I can do swivels pretty comfortably. And then 130 upwards, it's all just ankle.
sure, sure. I've dabbled in both swivel and ankle motion, and swivel, I just can't get it. Maybe it's my bad knees. I don't know, but it just does not fly for me. But the ankle motion is something that I too am always working on. But yeah, definitely finding that a lot more comfortable. Right. So now we move on to a little game I called First, Last, Best, and Worst. So this is where you tell us about the first show that you ever played. This is
Hmm.
about the last gig that you had, what the best show that you've ever played. Now that can be the show where you performed the best because us drummers are our own worst critics and almost never go away from gigs happy. But it can also be the best thing that happened while you're on stage. That can be the best environment that's kind of open for interpretation.
Hmm.
And then worst show is similar in that it can be the worst that you played. It can be the worst drum kit that you had to play on, the funniest moment on stage, the worst moment in the crowd. Like that too is open for interpretation.
Okay.
So let's start off with the first show that you ever played, please, Johan.
Is this on a stage or off a stage specifically, or just
Uh,
first show?
just first gig where there was people, one to whatever watching you.
Okay, cool. So, first show as a band was on a farm for my one friend's 21st birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we just set up shop on their back porch. And had 30 drunken people run around and just do all sorts of funny shit while we're playing.
Oh, wonderful.
Um, First official show was at a little bar called Zeppelin's back in South Africa. And I have no idea how, but they fit 100 people in there. It
Oh,
was very intimidating. Um, and it was sort of one of the best shows that I've played as well. Um, and it's yeah, it just happened to be. It was one of the largest crowds I've played to as well, and I've just got no idea how they fit that many people in there. Uh,
sure, sure.
so that was the first band, and that was for a band called Urus at the time, which was sort of a I don't want to call it a death metal band because it wasn't fast enough. I would probably say it was a slower version of Deathlock.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So it was fun music, a lot of double kick and like, really like a lot of chugging riffs and stuff. So it was just good fun. So that was the first show. The
Fantastic.
last show we played was with the guys from Chasing Titans and Monolith on the Scorched Earth tour,
Nice.
which was just in March. So we played with him in Hamilton.
Oh
I
yeah.
cannot remember the venue name. That was the last one. Was it then Best Show?
Yeah.
I think one of the proudest moments I had was we played a show. This was back in 2010, and the set went really well. The the drum kit had a funky tom, which kept on moving every song.
Oh yeah.
But the set went really well. Everybody enjoyed it, and we went to sit down after packing down and everything. And the next band came up, and the vocalist just went, "Where's the drummer of the previous band?" And I just want to tell you, you did a really good shot, like set. And I was
Whoa.
like, that was just like, wow, thank you.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So that is something that I'll always sort of remember.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, so that would be my nomination there.
Sure.
Um, Worst show, we played a sort of mini festival thing, and there was a sound issue, and then there was delays, and the one band played well over their set time, and we were
Uh,
scheduled to play second to last. And as the night dragged on, we just kept on drinking, and yeah, you can see where this is going, right?
yeah. Oh,
Yes. So that show didn't go too well. We thought it was amazing on the night.
yeah.
But looking back on it and some of the footage, it was just, oh no, and because of that night, we sort of made a rule to limit to 2 drinks before any show.
Sure. Sure. Smart. Very, very smart. Yeah. 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 I think, yeah, definitely a common thread there. Most people are going to have I drank too much before the gig. Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Well, that was fantastic. We are now at the very last part of the show, Johan. So this is where you get to make any plugs to any people. No, plugs for any things coming up that you want to make plugs for, and any shout outs to any people that you want to make shout outs to. Johan, sir, the floor is yours.
Um, as any respecting band member would, go check out our latest release, Ceasefire. The music video came out of just about a month ago. Very proud of what we got done there, and we're just about to do some more videos for some more songs. And there's a few couple of singles that's on the way out. So keep an eye out on that. As for people, just my brothers in Unwanted Subject, they've been absolutely amazing in accepting me into the band, and just been awesome people to play with. And of course, all the musicians that I've met in Auckland and played with on all the shows that we've been doing over the last couple of years.
Fantastic. And one thing that I've not done, this is the first time that I am doing it, is can you tell us where anybody who wants to find Unwanted Subject can look you guys up?
Yes, we're everywhere, to be honest. We've got a link tree now. I don't know if you know link tree.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so we've got a link tree, and I will give you the official name for it. It is linktree/unwanted subject, one word. So that's all our socials, our merge, everything's there. And if you want to reach us on email, it is unwantedsubject@gmail.com.
Fantastic. Well, Johan, thank you so much for being on my show, bro. This has been fucking
Ah,
awesome.
thank you for having me.
No worries at all, bro. Thank you. And thank you so much for watching. This has been the Drop Clutch episode number 18 with me, Ricky V. We'll see you next time.